Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 230 of
Damn.
At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
The Executioner Daniel Travers.
I am Matthew Smith, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. For the first time in like a couple weeks, we're actually doing 3 wrestling topics. We haven't done that in a
Yeah,
hot
anyway.
minute.
Yeah,
Let's
anyway.
run through 'em.
Number one.
Why is Liv Morgan in the Queen of the Ring or Queen's Crown,
Yeah,
whatever they call it, tournament?
Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
Number two.
Aalyah Mysterio has started full-time training in the PC for a pro wrestling career. We're going to talk about some dream rivalries for her.
Number three.
Who should be our king
Or
and
Queen.
queen of the ring? But
Y'all.
for now, let's talk about something stupid.
Yes.
So, Liv Morgan is in the Queen of the Ring tournament in the semifinals, I believe.
Yes. Against
But
the
correct me
Queen.
if I'm wrong. Doesn't the winner of that get a world title shot at SummerSlam?
Yes.
So unless they're doing a women's unification match, which I don't see happening, Liv should not be in the tournament. But I've
And
also heard Liv will not be defending her title again until SummerSlam.
okay, because this also raises the valid point that is, okay, like, why is Dominic Mysterio competing in the tournament when he has the world title of AAA?
Maybe because it is for a WWE world title?
Okay, and I'm just gonna
Besides,
say
as
this,
of this recording, he's gonna get squashed tonight anyways.
but also, like, here's another one. Why is the women's okay? Why are they putting the mid card championships in the King or Queen of the Ring tournament? It makes no sense.
TKO logic. Let's chalk it up to that.
But like talking back up to Liv Morgan is like, so let me get this straight. If you win the Queen of the Ring, also, by the way, not to mention this, you're a couple days away from Night of Champions, and we know absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Wait, when's that champion?
The 20,
Okay. Whew. I was worried. I was like, wait, does this need to be a prediction episode?
no, the 20, not till the 27th, and yet we know absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Now, what is your honest opinion on Liv Morgan being in the let alone semifinals of the Queen of the Ring?
I have a feeling she is probably gonna. I don't want to say it because I am a fan of Liv Morgan for more than just the fact that she's a drop dead bombshell.
Hmm.
But I I think she's gonna lose tonight.
She
Isn't she
wrestled on
fighting
SmackDown.
Roxanne of all people?
No, she's fighting Charlotte.
Right, right.
I mean, cause come on, WWE. Less it makes so much sense that you would have the Queen. You're having the Queen Charlotte Flair in the Queen of the Ring. This writes itself. But Liv Morgan being in it, like, it genuinely just makes me go, like, even if you explain to me like TKO logic, it's still just like, wait, what?
Yeah, but you have to admit, if Charlotte does win, which we'll discuss more in topic 3, that is a mouthful to say, which I will also say for topic 3. So if you want to hear that mouthful, you gotta listen to the entire episode.
What do you think of Liv Morgan being in the semifinals against Charlotte Flair?
Let's hope second generation Trump's numbers game.
Because my honest thought, and this is just genuinely where my brain went for this, and that is, look, like you said, if they're doing, it doesn't make sense for them to do a title unification. It really doesn't. But to me, it doesn't really make sense why they should have the world champion or anybody that has. I feel like the king or queen of the ring, and this is regarding to both, that participants should be wrestlers that do not have a title.
Well, we've had some double champions in the past in WWE. I'm not saying King of the Ring winners. The most recent one I can think of for the men is Seth Rollins. He held a mid card and a world title at the same time.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like
You were
just like
arguing about why the mid card champions are in the tournament, and I'm answering your question.
fair enough, fair enough. But still, it makes like I mean, yeah, sure, if you want them to be double champion, sure. That but other than that, it's just makes no sense. Cause like it's like saying like, hey, you're the Intercontinental Champion, but you're also gonna be competing in a tournament. I'm like, okay, unless you use that way as like a backdoor, like, to springboard a rivalry off of something, then it makes sense.
Yeah, the timer just went off because I did not forget it today so far.
Yay.
I
Boy,
knock on wood for that, you know? Final thoughts.
you go
Should they
first.
be in the tournament? No.
No. My thoughts is should Liv be in the Queen of the Ring in general? No.
Queen of the Ring.
Whatever. Should Liv be in the Queen of the Ring? No. Does it make logical sense? Heck no.
Does it make TKO logic sense?
No.
Somehow.
Somehow, yes, but also no.
And yes, for the record, people, we will now be using TKO logic as the easy answer instead of WWE logic since TKO is the parent
Yeah,
company.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, but yeah. My thoughts is just no, no, moving on.
We'll be right back, number two. I might hurt my hands doing that. We
Anyway,
are back with topic number two. The second of the Mysterio children is coming to WWE.
now will she go be now will she go through NXT? Maybe, possibly.
Will she go to Raw? Will she go to SmackDown? I
Hell,
am
will she go to
100% sure at some point she'll appear on Triple A. Just
yes.
because Ray is the general manager.
I'm like, cause also when you think about it, like, hey, sure, like, yeah, her dad's been doing this for a really long time, but also think about this. Dominic's been doing this since 2020 now.
Yeah. So Dominic's like 6 years into his journey. But that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about potential rivalries for Aalyah Mysterio.
Okay, the first and I mean, keep in mind, folks, this is not her first time. This would definitely be her second time, no, third time on being on screen in WWE because she was all the way back during the CM Punk and Seth Rollins feud back in '09.
Yeah. Back when it was her birthday.
Then, fast forward a few years, then she was involved in the Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That was just, I
That was
don't know
weird.
what McMahon was thinking then. For that, we
Yeah,
cannot use TKO logic. That's just Vince being creepy.
yeah. Then you fast forward a few years again, and now she's going to
She
be.
slaps the taste out of her brother's mouth at WrestleMania.
Yeah, now, okay, here's a bigger question. I could also see her going to NXT or AAA, or both. Maybe Raw, maybe SmackDown, but I have a bigger question. Before we discuss rivalries, that is, will she be a babyface or will she be a heel?
I think for this, we should discuss rivalries as both because the first rivalry I'm going to mention that's just too obvious, she would have to be a heel to do it correctly.
Who?
Rhea Ripley. And the premise of it is she's still upset that the former eradicator of the Judgment Day corrupted her older brother.
Yes, that's a very simple, very good story to do.
Unless they
Another
want to turn Rhea heel and have Aaliyah be the babyface of the Mysterio children.
yeah, okay, here's another one. And I think this one would be this one's another one for her to be a heel, but have her join debut on the main roster and her and her brother be a power couple, be a power sibling.
Okay, I'm glad you corrected yourself because the Mysterios live in California, not Alabama.
I know, I'm just messing. Yeah, but a sibling power team.
A power duo,
Yeah, a power duo because I'm like,
power dose,
dude,
whatever you want to call it.
because I'm like, dude, it'd be easy for her, be easy for her to get healed because think how much Dominic gets booed every day. Think how much
Well,
Dominic gets
yeah,
booed.
unless they appear in AAA where Dominic is actually liked by the crowd.
Yeah,
But
it's weird.
AAA is the place where I would have her be a Rudos the most because she can pull the daddy's little girl card and probably get any match she wants.
Yeah, it'd be a good little launching pad for her.
Mhm.
Now, another rivalry, okay, Rhea Ripley, agreed 100%. Another, I would also, I don't know, I feel like she would also maybe have, well, with the, and then, I guess, I don't know, maybe Soruka if you want her to be a baby, a heel, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's hard to book someone who we haven't seen them do any moves in the ring, technically.
Yeah,
The
I could
only
also,
move we've seen her do in the ring is jump into a 32-year-old man's arms when she was 19.
yeah, another person I would like to see her to be in a rivalry with is, if you want her to go down to NXT, maybe have, I mean, like, if you want to guys, like, protect her, what if you have her, and this is just random idea as hell, but, what if you have her be a heel, but be a part of a faction?
I know the perfect faction for her to be in, and it
Who?
is in NXT Birthright.
Yeah, that would work. And the reason, look, and people might think, oh, why? I'll be like, hey, look, yes, because look, it's harder to be look, if she wants to be a baby face, like, I don't really know, like, I could also see her being in a rivalry with who's that person that is the new number one contender for the Evolve, for the former Evolve champion, Cal
Kendall
Gray.
Gray?
Yeah, she'd be a good, like, a warm-up rivalry, face or heel.
Yeah, if we're talking like main roster Raw Smack or SmackDown, I could see her in rivalries with like Liv Morgan or Roxanne Perez. Again, going off the Judgment Day story thing.
Yeah, because now, do I think she would be a good babyface? Yes, but it's harder to be a babyface than it is to be a heel.
I concur.
Because as a babyface, you gotta do things for people to actually care about what you're doing. As a heel,
Yeah.
your job is just opposite.
Yeah, no, I do have a legitimate question that I don't think either of us have actually considered.
What's that?
Masked or not masked? She comes from a lucha libre lineage, and those wrestlers traditionally are masked.
True, I mean,
But
hey,
I think it will depend if she goes by Aalyah Mysterio or if she gets a luchador's name.
because that actually raises a good question you just brought up. Will she be using her real name or not? Because think about this, Dominic Mysterio, he was originally supposed to be masked, but then they're just like, nah.
Yeah, and Mysterio obviously is not her real last name. It's Gutierrez. That does
Yeah,
not convey wrestler to me. Aalyah Mysterio, because of the lineage that now has in WWE with her father,
and your brother.
that is technically a wrestling name. Now, do I think she should have done the indies? Probably, but she was in medical school.
Yeah, I mean, do I see Linda Mysterio? Now, personally, I could see her being an unmasked luchador, but like,
Yeah.
but because I mean, yeah, sure. If you want her to be like, because I think it's a lot easier to convey emotion in a, in a person, whether you could see them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But another person I could see her being in a like, yeah, like you said, Sen would be a good one. I mean, because like another reason why they could have her go to NXT is she could. Because think about this: if you have her go down to NXT, you could have her also appear in
Yeah, but I will say I I agree with the unmasked thing because I don't think any ring announcer wants to announce Princesca Mysterio to the ring. That's literally the Spanish translation for princess.
yeah. But it also depends. Like
Dang it! I
now,
knocked on wood and it failed.
but do I think? I mean, I could see her, like I could see her going after like the other, original male members of the Judgment Day as like a if you wanted to be a baby face or like a whole, revenge for what you did to my brother, or because it depends. Do I like what do you see for her? Do you see her being a good girl or a baby face or a heel?
That's a good question. I
Because
honestly don't know.
my answer is because, well, we know that a Mysterio can play a good baby face because of her dad.
Yeah,
But we also know a Mysterio can be a dangerous heel. Dominic.
because of her brother. I legitimately don't know. We want to wrap this up. We were only supposed to talk for 6 minutes before it brought us to the 13-minute mark. We're at like 24 and a half minutes. I forgot the
Uh,
timer.
okay. All right. We'll be back with topic number 3.
And we are back with the third and final topic. I did remember the timer this time. Who should win King and Queen of the Ring?
Okay. Let's start with the king. The king of the ring semifinals. On one side, you have her brother
See
versus
previous topic to identify her.
versus. Okay.
You have
Versus.
Oba Femi versus Dominic Mysterio. Dominic's getting squashed tonight on Raw.
Yeah. And on the other side, you have Jay Uso versus oh yeah, Jay Uso versus Javon Evans.
Yeah,
And
that's
for the
gonna
win
be a bouncy match, dog.
and the women's, you have on one side you have Raquel Rodriguez versus Io Sky, and on the other side, you have the women's world champion for some reason versus Charlotte Flair.
See, first topic, for reason that we hate that.
So,
All right, now here's the thing. I actually want to start with the women. I don't know. I don't think Io is gonna be able to defeat Raquel just because of size.
makes sense.
And I don't want Liv to win because she's already a champion. So my choices are either Raquel Rodriguez or Charlotte Flair. Now the
I'm
Queen Big Sexy Raquel Rodriguez, that's a mouthful. But the Queen of the Ring, the Queen Charlotte Flair, is also a mouthful.
also, if Raquel wins, think about the interesting storyline that would create within the Judgment Day.
True, unless Raquel chooses to fight Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam.
True. Now, for the men, Femi, done.
Yeah, he's literally called the ruler, and a king is a ruler.
I mean, hell, take a look, okay, because think about this. We saw last week on Monday Night Raw. JD McDonough tried to hit Obafemi with the chair.
And he no sold it.
Then Dominic tried to jump on him on the top rope. Then he just caught him and just went.
Flop.
I'm just like, okay, like, I think my pick for that match, easily Obafemi.
Yeah.
Now, Do I see it being the Ye-Man, Jey Uso?
His
Unless because
popularity is kinda dipping now, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
mean, don't get
because
me wrong, the fans still do the yeet.
but also keep in mind this coming Friday on SmackDown, Gunther is wrestling for the WWE Championship against Cody with Sammy as the ref.
Yeah, I gotta assume that.
But anyway,
Anyways,
I think the finals, I think it's gonna be two of the future of WWE in the finals. My prediction for the finals is for the men is gonna be Javon Evans versus Obafemi.
okay.
Now, because I don't know what WWE's planning to do with Lesnar and how he fits in all this, if he does. If they still plan to wrap that rivalry up, because not clear.
Okay, crazy theory.
Okay.
What if Brock wins the world title and not only does Ova retire him in their rubber match, but becomes world champion at SummerSlam?
Okay. For the
Because keep in
women,
mind, there will be no money in the bank to counter him yet.
good luck. Yeah. Then for the women, um, I'm gonna go. I think Charlotte Flair is going to advance. I think the finals will be Charlotte versus Io.
And who do you got winning that? The genius of the sky or the queen?
I think the Queen, because I think that if that's the final, that match will be a match of the year candidate.
Yeah, but also, do you really want to see babyface versus babyface in the finals?
Good point. All right, that's all I got.
But yeah, the sorry about that. The timer just went off, so we're gonna have to see how things unfold in the next week before, like 2 weeks before the
No, this week, Friday and Monday, Monday and Friday, so Monday and Friday.
yeah, but also a week from this
Yeah,
is not
anyway,
is not champions. Well, not today precisely,
yeah,
but
anyway, yeah,
you guys know what I mean.
yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. It's in the description. Subscribe to our website. Link also in the description. Also subscribe on YouTube. Again, link in description. You can follow us on social media, so I have to type those handles in because I'm too lazy to get those URLs. We'll be back next week with more division discussions, more specifically a prediction because Night of Champions is coming up.
Mhm.
But until then, the executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will always be at odds.